Something is really happening, something is changing.
We can't all make a difference in everybody's life, but all of us can make a difference in somebody's life. And, you know, lives are what it's about, really. It's about living life to the max.
To have parent input into the design of the support that those kids have is really, really important.
It's tailoring it to what families actually really need, rather than just somebody somewhere in power saying this is what we're going to do, here's a new legislation. It has been, what do you as parents, as families need?
We started talking about what we wanted and what we needed, and they actually listened.
The local authority really have been taking on board, and the PCT, the things that parents have been saying. So we have seen a real shift in the development of services, really, and it's been really instrumental to the shaping of the Aiming High programmes in Hull.
What we're trying to do in Hull is integrate our disability and complex needs services. So that means we'll integrate our local authority services and our health services. They'll be different employers but a joint approach. And we think that's key to improving the outcomes for children and people with disabilities and complex needs. In terms of Aiming High, what we have is a single commissioning manager who works both to the PCT and the local authority in relation to children with disability and complex needs. We feel that's a very effective way of working because it means we've aligned budgets and we've aligned strategies. So it's very much a joined-up interagency approach.
After meeting with 4 young people at Frederick Home Schools to discuss what they wanted the Aiming High money to be spent on, and putting some options forward. One of those was a cycling project from the sports development team. We came to understand that not a lot of people had actually experienced cycling. So from there we did some consultation with those young people out to a wider group of disabled young people through all out the special schools and other youth clubs and things where disabled young people go to find out if there was a need. And within that consultation we asked parents, carers and young people, and that's where we got the evidence to show that we could spend the capital money on all the cycles in the park that you see today. And to make it sustainable and look at how we can carry it on in the future, we've worked in partnership with the youth service and with business services. The youth service has supplied us some money to employ a mechanic who will be here 7 days a week to make sure the project's open when the park is open. And the business services have supplied 2 admin staff to do all their admin work and also the monitoring work that's needed to do with the project. We was looking at how we can sustain the projects beyond that as well, so it was decided that a hire charge would be put in there at a minimum cost, and all that money is to do is to make sure that they can buy spare parts to keep the bikes in a safe condition for them to use them when they hire them in the park.
Are you ready?
Not really.
That way.
Get the brake drop, it works.
First time I've ever been on a mountain bike.
Oh, we're gonna be. Every time I come to the East Park, I always want to go. Be riding the bikes.
It makes me feel happy that I'm helping other people like me to get out and about and do what they want.
It makes me feel good. I get rid of a lot of energy. Yeah.
So we can. Then I'm going on these bikes.
If I wasn't here cycling around with my mate at East Park, I would be watching television.
Come here to get the exercise. Better than going down the gym.
It's much better to be out here getting a lot of fresh air.
You get to talk to people on the way round.
Disabled people can get on the chairs or get the chair on the bike and just enjoy life to the full maximum they can. Families can go with the disabled children and like on a family day out in these parks and enjoy themselves.
It's really difficult when you've got a family and a disabled child in the family to actually find an activity where the family can all join in and do it together. And I think this is one such scheme because there's mainstream bikes, there's tandems, there's trikes. So the whole family can go out and do something together.
It was really good because it was something we were doing together as a family. David wasn't feeling that he was being held back by his brother. Everybody was happy, and I think the best thing was we were going around the park and all the time other kids were stopping and saying, "Hey, look at that, where can we get those bikes?" And we were saying, "Actually, you can't." And that was really good.
So the Aiming High funding has really enabled us to look at what we've got already and actually develop new services to bridge those gaps, really. And I think the schemes are obviously relatively new because the funding's come on this year, and then there's extra money from April 2010. But I think we will see a real enhancement of short break services for disabled children and young people.
One of the huge strengths in Hull is the Parents Forum, but taking it a step further, it's the trust that there is between the forum and the authority, and that has taken time to build. I think if the Aiming High money had come into the city in 2007, the outcomes might have been slightly different, simply because we didn't have the relationship with the authority then. I know personally, I didn't feel that the people coming in from the authority trusted us. I didn't trust them. I could be totally wrong in that, but I think the relationship has developed over the years, and that has been a real strength. So we've been able to thrash out some of these hard decisions about what is a short break, how can we use the money, who should it be for, and that has worked because of the relationship of trust there.
That's an awesome bike. That's my bike. I think you might need to wash it now. Where have you been on it? Sometimes being a youth worker with disabled young people has its challenging moments, but also very rewarding. Because if we weren't here, people like Nathan wouldn't be out having a bit of fun.
I think it's about understanding what gives children fun. So a short break needs to be more than respite. A short break needs to be something that doesn't just solve a problem, but actually brings something additional. So for kids that aren't disabled, there are a lot of opportunities to grow and develop. There's a lot of opportunities to learn new things and meet people. If you're a child with disabilities or with additional needs, those opportunities aren't always there.
As a joint service, we really genuinely do believe that parents are the experts. We feel that although many of us from a professional standpoint have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and many of us have worked in the field for a long time, we actually don't know. It's the parents of disabled children who really know what it's like to have a disabled child, to live in this borough and to bring up a disabled child in Enfield. And so we didn't feel that we could develop provision or develop services without their input.
As a parent and as a parent-led group, I feel that our connections and our information and the groups that we're involved with around the Aiming High and the joint service projects are extremely valuable, very, very valuable.
We are expected to meet the full service offer under Aiming High by the end of March, which means we need to be giving the full range of short breaks to children with every type of disability and need. And today was the start of a pilot project which came out of all of the consultation because the mums and dads and the young people themselves were really clear they wanted an opportunity to hang out with their friends.
Elizabeth does have additional needs, and Elizabeth does need some help, and she will never be able to go out and about and do her own thing. I know that as a parent, and it's something that I've accepted, but it doesn't mean to say that I've got to sit back and let her miss out on those sorts of things. So today, Elizabeth has been involved in a pilot scheme, and the decisions were all made by the young people. We did have to send a couple of staff along because it is a pilot scheme. We wanted to know how it went, but the rest of the group were all under the age of 17. The young people went to Enfield Town to do some shopping. They wanted to go to the cinema as well, and we thought, well, you know, let's do a whole day, because the whole day is significant and it's not just sort of like a quick 2-hour run around the shops and back home again. They all decided who they wanted to go with. They made their choices. They wanted to enjoy themselves. They didn't want to go with mum, and they didn't want to go with dad, and they didn't particularly want to go with brothers and sisters. They wanted to go out with their friends and do different things.
Today was my first time on a Saturday coming out with them.
It's fun today, because we're all with our friends.
What did you do this morning?
On the town.
We were in Enfield Town. What did you do in Enfield Town?
Shopping.
Shopping. Looked at all the shops. What did you buy, Alanta?
CD.
I like hanging out with everyone, because if I leave someone out, that's just sad to other people.
Whenever Elizabeth and I go shopping, she will never, even with as much prompting as possible, take her purse out of her bag and pay for her own things that she's chosen. She will always, no, mummy do it, mummy do it. Today, she bought 3 items in Enfield Town and she took her purse out and paid for every single one of them, and that's the first time she's ever done that, ever. And that was an absolute first, and she has never ever paid for anything before, and look what she's achieved just in one session, one short break of going out and doing something, and she's managed to achieve that, and that's fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
I think one of the things that I'm most proud of really is that the staff in my team, and as a group of professionals, we have exposed ourselves. We have gone into that area collectively and said, come on, tell us how it is. And we've done that genuinely. We've always worked with parents, we've always worked in partnership. I would like to think that we've always had good relationships with parents and always believed that disabled children are children first and have a right. But I think we collectively, as a team, exposed ourselves down to the roots and said, we don't know, we can do better, come and help us. And I think that there's been a significant step change and a real development of a sense of trust. And yes, we will disagree, and yes, we will make mistakes, and yes, we won't all get it right, but we are all singing from the same song sheet, and I'm proud of that.
What I found, and what I found so refreshing through this process, is the fact that I feel I've been listened to, that, you know, some of the things that I know I'm able to do have been respected, that I've been able to use my own sort of abilities and talents and work with people in a way that I know will genuinely make a difference.
You've opened yourselves up to us. You've been very professional, but you've also been very human, and you've taken away that stigma of who social services are. And I think that to a parent and to people within the public, they have to understand that social services is not this selective sort of like frightening group that's sort of like above us and will, you know, we're engaged with you, that can bring problems and issues and things like that, because it really isn't like that anymore. No. And I think that is what people have to get over, that, you know, that sort of like statutory bodies are not somebody to be fearful of, they're people to work with. I think it's very important, and I think Enfield has done that. You're right, Jan.
Come on, morning everybody. Morning. Come on in, gang. How's it all been going? All right.
I think one of the important parts of Aiming High in Cornwall is that we work together, particularly on consultation and participation, to make sure that we do anything that I do in DCAT, we take in mind anything that's happening within short breaks. Certainly Short Breaks and DCAT have commissioned a number of projects together to make the best use of the funds that we have available to us.
We've got a pilot that's been running for young people aged 11 to 18. And the whole idea of the pilot really is to support them to get out there, hence GOT, and do activities that any young person would like to do without their parents, so that they can develop some friendships, develop some social opportunities which previously they haven't been able to access. A lot of these young people go to a residential special school out of the county, so when they come back at weekends and holidays, they're completely isolated from their peer group. They're stuck at home, they haven't really got the opportunity to get out there and do fun things. So hence the GOT group. And it really has gone from strength to strength.
Does he like being stroked and all that?
Yeah, he's quite happy being stroked.
Back feathers. Yeah. And he's a little bit wet because he's been in the rain.
What it is that you get to go out places. Like Falmouth, Truro. We go with some friends, and I go with my helper Jenny as well.
It's run by a coordinator and a bank of volunteers, and I think they've got 25 volunteers, which is just fabulous. Sustainability for that group is built through the volunteer sort of service that they've developed. And basically the young people are developing their own service. The coordinator facilitates and meets with them regularly and asks them and participates with them about what they want to get from each activity. And they're designing what they do, planning it, and then achieving it. So it really is a great success and something that I hope we can work with colleagues across other local authorities to maybe develop as a national model for children and young people with particularly complex needs.
It's a very, very good group, I think, and you know, it stops us from just, you know, staying at home and feeling bored and doing nothing really, you know, stuck indoors, because like, you know, my mum doesn't really go out too often, and you know, reasons, you know, and I like to go out.
It's a what day? It's a GOT day.
A what day?
A GOT day.
Get out where?
Get out there.
Where?
Everywhere.
Yeah, whoa!
Wizard Preston's his first year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And if the Dursleys were unhappy to have him back for the holidays, it was nothing like how Harry himself felt. He missed Hogwarts so much it was like having a constant stomachache. He missed the castle with its secret passageways and ghosts, his lessons, though perhaps not state.
We're at this kind of centre place, I'm not too sure where, and there's all sorts of different activities like arts and crafts, cooking, Harry Potter stuff, anything to do with Harry Potter really.
I really like it.
About a year ago, we were aware that Susie Jo was coming up to 16, and that as the boys were getting older and their social lives were really taking off, and they were going out with friends and had friends calling around, that Susie Jo was very, very isolated socially, but also aware that she had developed some friendships with children on her taxi. She goes out of county to school, and some of these young people were starting to question with each other and with parents why they couldn't meet up at the weekend. And as parents, we did try to make this happen, but of course we were always involved. And we just felt it would be nice for them to have an opportunity to get together with friends without parents. And this happened at a time when I was aware of aiming high because of my involvement in our local parent and carer council. And many of the activities and short breaks for disabled children were actually quite exclusive of children with sight problems, and we were aware we needed something very specific. And we were able to get some funding and do some consultation, which was led by the young people and what they wanted. And they were very clear that what they wanted was to get together with their friends at the weekends and in the holidays. Most of them were also very clear that that should be without their parents. So we saw short breaks as being the way forward.
It's a what day?
I got day.
Get out where?
Get out there.
Where?
There.
Where?
Everywhere.
Get out there!
Get out there! I think it was enormously helped by the relationship that we had with our commissioners and managers in Cornwall, so we were able to be very direct about the sort of service that we wanted. I think in terms of value for money, it's a really excellent example of an innovative service that meets an enormous range of needs, not just for the young people, but for all the family.
Being part of that development is a really exciting thing. Not just for service providers, not just for kind of planners and commissioners, but to actually have families see something that comes out of it at the end of the day. You know, one of the things that very, very clearly we kind of are finding with the Aiming High conferences is being able to feed back to people and actually say, you said that's actually what happened as a result of it. And then when you go back and there's further pieces that are actually kind of coming on board, people really are generating that kind of excitement. And that's a good way to work.
On a Friday before I come home, I get excited on Friday morning because I know there's a Get Out There club.
So
happening at the weekend.
You look forward to the
Yeah.
And I just like knowing that, you know, we're enjoying it now, and we know there is much, much, much more to come.